Welcome back. All right, 2 days later and still no clear winner of the U.S. election. Ballots are still being counted in 4 key states. Joining me live from Washington right now is CNN's Karin Caifa, who has been reporting for quite some time because we don't have an answer just yet. Karin, I want to bring in this tweet from Donald Trump, just tweeted here moments ago saying, "Stop the count," though the count currently continues. Where do things stand right now, Karin?
Yeah, absolutely. And that is a stark contrast to what Joe Biden has tweeted this morning, which included a video with a message that said every vote counts. And that tweet from President Trump is also a contrast, Melanie, with what Kellyanne Conway, his former White House advisor, speaking to Fox News from the Trump campaign headquarters this morning. She said, let's be patient. Let's count the votes. So kind of a mixed message coming out of the Trump campaign when you think of campaign staff versus the president. But here is what we do know. We are awaiting states in the southern portion of the United States today, including Arizona, Nevada, Georgia, North Carolina, and also Pennsylvania, which we have been talking about all week. The vote counts continue. Election officials in these states being very mindful. They know that the focus is on them. And Melanie, in particular, we are looking at some of the larger counties within these states that include big urban areas and also those suburbs that have been so coveted by both of these campaigns. For example, Fulton County, Georgia, which includes Atlanta, where election officials say they hope to wrap the count up this morning. And later on this morning, we expect to get another update from Clark County, Nevada, which is the county that includes Las Vegas.
As we mentioned, Nevada here, seeing that the Trump campaign has a presser scheduled for 11:30 Eastern today. I'm assuming this might have to do with some legal action.
That is the most likely option here. We saw this in Pennsylvania yesterday, where Eric Trump, the president's son, and some Trump campaign officials, including Corey Lewandowski and also Pam Bondi, who is the former attorney general of Florida, went to announce that they would be pursuing legal action in that state. We've also seen the Trump campaign filing lawsuits in Michigan and Georgia. These lawsuits have surrounded absentee ballots, those mail-in ballots that President Trump has railed against in his campaign, and also the count and whether observers from the campaign are being allowed in to be able to observe the count as it goes on. So a lot of these legal actions are seen as long shot legal bids and bids that could only impact maybe a few hundred, maybe a couple thousand votes. And as we know, as we watch these tallies come in, Melanie, these states are tight, to be sure, but the decision will be made by tens of thousands of votes. So pursuing those legal channels may not be enough for the Trump campaign.
Karin, do we have an exact timeline on when some of these states are expected to complete reporting, counting?
Yeah, and we've seen election officials and the secretaries of state in these states, who are both Republicans and Democrats, depending on the state, really try to be transparent with this process. As I said, in Fulton County, Georgia, they are hoping to get a total really within the next hour and a half or so, so they can start putting the pieces together a little bit more in Georgia. In Maricopa County, Arizona, which is a state that some news organizations have called in favor of Joe Biden, others have not because of the closeness of the race. That has given the Trump campaign some hope. They are expected to give another update today as they try to go through the number of ballots in that county, which includes Phoenix. It's the biggest county in Arizona in terms of tabulating the votes. So they really are trying to move this process along. In some cases, they've been able to move along a little bit more speedily than even they anticipated. For example, up in Michigan, which has been called in Joe Biden's favor. Initially, they were saying that maybe they wouldn't have a really solid count until Friday, but of course, they've surpassed that. So these states really trying to move things along. And Melanie, it has been such an unusual campaign season for these elections officials. The volume of mail-in ballots because of the coronavirus pandemic has certainly stretched them a good deal. They had very good plans, but they did urge Americans to have some patience, that these counts were likely not going to be done, especially in the very close states, on election night.
Oh, we will all be watching, Karin. Please do go grab that extra large coffee, and we'll talk to you again. Thank you.